Alright guys, what's up? Survival Living here. Give me a few seconds while I pull up the chat, make sure everything's working correctly, because it's been a while since we actually sat down and did a live stream. So bear with me while we get all this technical stuff out of the way. If I can get some connection here. The screen is very dark out here. I cannot see anything. Give me a second, everybody. Seriously, I cannot see anything on the screen. Cabin GRL, good to see you. Ghetto, good to see you, brother. How are you doing? Mark, good to see you. So, guys, give me a second while I get everything squared on my end, because I cannot see anything on this phone because the settings are set dark for some reason, and I cannot see it. Where's the slider at? There we go. There we go. All right. Yeah. So, got that. Now, I have to pull up the chat. Anyway, guys, the title says, keep prepping. Yes, I am not a technical genius. Working on it. Building looking good. Aaliyah, good to see you. Yes. So, got a lot done. Got the inner walls framed and everything else. Still got a lot. I put all the headers and everything up. So, the bathroom, kitchen framed, living quarters framed in. Well, just the bare bones, let's put it that way. I still have to put I like having spaces about 4 feet in between each of the 16-inch center 2x4s. It's just what I like to use. And let's see here. Give me a second to make sure I am logged into the chat. Okay. And testing audio. Okay. All right. Perfect. Okay, guys. So now I can actually see the chat on this. Yeah, so the build's going good. I'm hoping in a couple more weeks I will be done. Another reason why I went back to the shipyard, guys. Wood is getting more expensive too now. Thankfully, wood has gone down massively. When we left Apopka, Florida, we were going to our property in Wyoming that we purchased. We were going to homestead. Then we bent the spindle on the trailer. We took a 6x12 cargo trailer and converted it into a camper. And then the scandemic hit and locked everything down. And then we also had the messed up stuff there at the ports where all the ships were backed up for no apparent reason. And then lumber went through the roof. 2x4s were over $10. A sheet of 4x8 plywood OSB was $68. Now it's about a little under $11. And I apologize for the bird. I don't like birds. My wife gives me crap about it all the time. Every time I'm out in the woods, finally getting some sleep because I've been up all night, some bird starts chirping before the sun comes up to wake me up. I don't like birds. They're annoying to me, but I'm a weird person, so there we go. All right, back in chat, guys. So thankfully, lumber's dropped down. 2x4s currently are $380 something. But yeah, nails, unfortunately, are very expensive. A 5-pound box of 16 penny was $34. I've already put 10 pounds in this thing. So yeah. Terra Explorations, good to see you. Patriot Zero, how are you? You raise quails? We used to. We went ahead and thinned out the quail. We are sticking to chickens, and I'll tell you why. The costs for feed and the production that we got, the return we got from quail's pretty small. It takes about 6 to 8 eggs for an omelet. So it's easier just to raise chickens. And the chickens can really fight up a lot of animals too when you let them loose to do some free grazing. They back off a lot of stuff. But quails are pretty much prey animals big time. Anything, if they ever get out, they're done. Aaliyah, what about a spam bird? I have not seen a spam bird, but if I do, oh yeah, definitely gonna get that. quail eggs are so small? Yes, yes they are. So we are not raising quail anymore. My brother's focusing on chickens, and that's what we're working with. So yeah, I like the idea of chickens better. We got it designed for a bigger coop because we want to step up our production on it. Because having fresh chicken, fresh eggs, of course, with chickens is the prepping of feed. Right now, we can get a large bag of feed for about 20 bucks. We just Mylar it up in the 5-gallon Mylar. We've done reviews there for Wallaby. That's what we put it in, throw in an O2 absorber. Guinea hens? No, we don't do guinea hens. Man, I live right on SR7. I'll take bird songs anytime. Well, it's mainly when I'm trying to film. That's when they start up, you know. FSP. Good to see you, brother. If I remember that correctly, the abbreviation's Farmer Son Prepping. Dude, definitely good to see you, my friend. How are you doing? And yeah, I know I haven't done a very good job of live streams and stuff like that, guys. I try to get all my filming done on the weekends, but you know, I'm framing up a building, so don't really have a lot of time to do a lot of stuff, but I try to. I still enjoy doing YouTube. I still enjoy getting hold of information presented to everybody. Most of prepping is redundancy. I mean, it's the same thing over and over again. Sometimes you get some really cool items and stuff to show people. Rabbits are silent, also useful. My wife raises rabbits, so she rescues them. So we don't use them for meat rabbits or something like that. I did. Growing up, we had meat rabbits. You know, I lived out in the country there in North Carolina, and yeah, we had chickens, we had meat rabbits. We had a lot of stock. Did you see that we attacked after they attacked their base? No, I did not see that we had a retaliation against Syria. I did see the blurb over it that there was something going on there. Like I said, watch that sandbox. That sandbox is going to be the catalyst and also the fall guy for a major event. Whether it's a Black Swan event, you know, a Fast Freddy, you know, an FF event, guys. Yeah, we've been nailed again by the platform, by the way. Have to watch what you say on a liberal platform, or they shut you down, you know, then you can't get your thoughts out there. I think they're going to be using those countries a lot, especially for something to happen here. In my thoughts. Smoking Swamp Outdoors, good to see you, my friend. How are you doing? Silver Bucket, good to see you, my friend. How are you doing? Chickens help with ticks and bugs as well. You are absolutely correct. We'll be lucky if our currency lasts more than 3 weeks. D-Slick. That's a possibility. Did you say 3 months? 3 weeks. I don't know when economic collapse is going to come. All right, I don't, guys. What I do and what I encourage everybody to do is make sure you stock up food first. Food is most important, all right? Water, of course, water filtration. But it doesn't take long to stock up the amount of water filters you need to purify water compared to food, all right? Let's take, for example, Sawyer Mini. 100,000 gallons removes 99.999% of bacteria. Awesome. 20 bucks. You can't drink 100,000 gallons in a month's time, okay? So you need to be getting a month's supply of food as well. Food is very important. We've already seen food prices going up. As far as economic collapse, guys, I encourage you, food first, water filtration, medical needs. I really push alternative power, mainly because I hate to use the word fear. I look at the scenario that power is going to be a major issue, especially with the possibility of cyber attacks against power grid, and then, of course, EMP weaponry or coronal mass ejections from the sun. Grid goes down, and I know there's plenty of people out there, they like to type in, I've lived without power for 37 years, and all this amazing stuff. That's good. the majority and whole of people here in this country live on the grid some way or another. All right. If you have medication, you need the grid. The fact is, if you go into the store, somebody's relied on the grid. That's the fact. All right. Because it takes power to manufacture stuff. So when people say, I live without power, they must be hunting, fishing, sewing up their own clothes, everything out in the woods and never going into town. Although they have time to type it in on a computer or cell phone. So most of the time, people just talking out of their ass when they do that. All right. Do they go to the gas station to put fuel in their vehicle? Do they pay insurance on the vehicle? Well, that takes the grid working. So yeah. All right. Scrolling through here. Rabbit poop is great for gardens. Yeah, you have to be careful with it because sometimes you can burn. There's a lot of nutrition in there. So it's good fertilizer. Best thing to do is make tea out of it. Not that you drink. It's called making fertilizer tea to put in the ground. But you also have to be real careful because I used some of that and it was way too concentrated. It killed everything. So be real careful with it. Airborne preparedness. Good to see you, brother. How are you doing? Warm finally. Yeah, we had some cold weather there for, I don't know, about a week down here. Freaking crazy. Lots of second hole talk going around these days, CFP. I'm not sure. Oh, Jason. Yes, I agree with you. It took me a second. I am exhausted. It took me a second to realize what you were saying there. Yes, that's actually a better way of saying it. Scrolling through here, guys. Let's see here. Trying to make sure I keep up with chat and everything. So I do want to encourage you guys, keep prepping. Also with economic collapse, of course, we stockpile. Well, I say stockpile. We put away mostly silver. All right, silver and gold. And there's always this huge thing. You can't eat silver. You can't eat gold. Yada, yada, yada. Yeah, I know. But at some point, when the dollar collapses or devalues, your gold and silver is worth a lot more. You have more purchasing power, and there's also a way of transferring your wealth. I've seen the comment and the arguments in the comment sections all the time. Well, with the American dollar collapse, it's the end all be all. It's all gone. No, it's not. It's going to suck. Yes, it will. Take example as the hyperinflation in Venezuela. Guess what, guys? Venezuela is still there. Hyperinflation hit. Their money was worthless. Gold and silver was used to purchasing power. The country's still there. So just because it's an economic collapse doesn't mean the country goes down burning in flames and is Armageddon. Is it going to suck? Yes. It's going to be bad. A lot of people are going to lose their savings, their 401ks, their retirements. That's what's going to happen. All right? It's going to be bad all the way around. Okay? Poor people are going to be even poorer. The people that's not going to be affected by it are the fat cats. Okay? But that's my thoughts. All right, scrolling through here. I need a inexpensive rifle that takes 5.56. Any suggestions? Hi, Leah? Yes. Of course. I just cashed in some gold and silver at the high. Going to help with the cabin build. Airborne preparedness. Yeah. To me, it's a safety deposit. Except, you have control over it with gold and silver. When we went down to Fort Myers, we took a whole lot of our stocks, cashed it in and helped. I mean, we had a lot of support with the community alone, but there's a lot more stuff I wanted to do. We took a percentage of that. We went and bought more food, more supplies to take down there. I don't know if I've lost any or if I gained any because I forgot. I buy all the time. You're supposed to buy low, sell high. I really don't sell it unless I need a lump sum because I don't leave cash in the bank. I don't leave a whole bunch of cash laying around because my theory is, my thoughts, and my plan is on preparedness is when the dollar collapses, I don't want to be left with a whole bunch of toilet paper. Now, it's nice to have toilet paper, don't get me wrong, but I don't want to use that. Chance, good to see you, my friend. How are you doing? I don't know why the platform hid your comment, but I just saw it. All right, scrolling through here. Never look back. Good to see you, my friend. How are you doing? So, did you get more nails? No, I didn't. I actually went and collected all the bent nails, straightened them all out, and busted that finger and busted that finger, straightening the nails. Yeah, I don't get hurt that often, and that's the only time I got hurt was smashing my fingers trying to straighten out the nails. But what nails I did collect, got this done. So most of this build is actually my income from the shipyard. It goes in here every single week. I'm heading back to Home Depot Tuesday or Wednesday. I'll be picking up another 10 pounds of nails. Right now, besides the spacers I got to put in between the 2x4s, I've got all the headers up. So I've got to finish doing all the rafters. Like I said, it's just a slant. I got to do all that. I got to pick up another 10 2x4s, I think it is, when I was doing my math. And then I can start sheeting. And I'll wrap everything with Tyvek. And I will probably... I like putting up the walls, the exterior wall first, the sheeting, the metal, before I put the roof on. But I might go ahead and put the roof on it with the Tyvek and everything, then go ahead and put the metal roof on, and then come back and do the outside. Because I do have to get in here, do some flooring, and do the plumbing and electrical and all that, which takes time. So each week we just do a little bit more. On the weekend is when I'm always out here. I try to do a little bit when I come home, but they're starting to wear out. I got something biting my shoulder. Ow! All right, scrolling through here, guys. Any chance you could do a review on a manual crank generator, like one you put in place of a back wheel of a bike? Oh, sorry, guys. I got something either stinging me or biting me. Back scratcher. I don't know. It's very irritating. A generator, a manual crank generator, like one you put on the back of a wheel of a bike. You mean just like a generator head? I'll take a look at my affiliates. We've been doing more and more with VWar. I've got a welder I'm going to be doing a review on here in a matter of days. I think they have generator heads, but I have to take a look at it, make sure it converts everything over to DC as far as a charging station, and then I have to manufacture and build some type of crank system. I do know it's more than just using a bicycle, guys, because you got to figure in gear ratio. Okay, if you want to actually start producing stored power, you have to have a large amount of gear ratio to make that thing spin like crazy. Just throwing a generator head, you got to make sure you get the right generator head, because if you're not producing enough RPMs, it's kind of like an alternator. It's not going to put out the output that it needs. So there's a lot more with that than just buying something, throwing it on, and hoping for the best. There's a lot of there's electrical engineering on it, but it's not rocket science either. It's basic math, actually. There's a lot of math. All right, scrolling through here. Bicycle generators don't work very well. I tried. Yeah. You know, they might light up a light bulb or something. If I was going to be using a generator head to build some type of hand crank system, it would definitely be geared out so I could get a high output. It would definitely be gearing this thing out. You'd have to make a stand for it so that you get a higher gear ratio, because you've got to make sure you hit those RPM levels to get a good charge out of it, to get a big output. Let's see here, scrolling through here. The right gears and the alternator would do some, with some batteries would do the job. Yeah, Yeah, so again, it comes to RPM. You got to be able to hit that RPM correct, because if an alternator's RPM is not hit at the right speed, it won't charge. And if it's too high, you'll burn out your alternator. So that's why I prefer using a generator head. So like I said, it's math on doing gear ratios and stuff, but it can be done. And you can use an alternator, of course you can. Just alternators don't last as long as a generator head. All right, so scrolling through here, with all that stuff, Big B, with all that stuff that's coming in the news and stuff, guys, with Russia, China, and all that stuff. And I say this all the time on this channel. There is nothing you and I can do to stop what they're doing. All we can do is look at the news and information being presented to us and make changes and adjust our preps accordingly. That's what we do. I see it all the time, and I don't know. There's a lot of people that are just fearful of any type of bad news, I guess. I don't know. I don't get it. But as soon as you hear news, it's fear-mongering this, it's that. You're just trying to scare people. And not just me, anybody that covers it. It's bringing the information so that you can make informed decisions. And that's what preppers should be doing, informed decision. When I see people that's complaining about, well, this is the fear, this is that, you know what? I'll be honest, I remove them. I get rid of them off my channel. I don't want to see that crap. I'm trying to reach as many people as possible to get those people prepared for what's coming. I'm not going to sit here and have a debate on nothing's going to happen, something's going to happen, nothing we can do. Oh, God will come back for us before then. Where did you see that? I will address that one. Where in the world did you read that? Because throughout histories, nations have fallen. Wars have happened. Why is it all of a sudden? Because in your lifetime, God is coming back for you and you'll never go through anything bad in your life. Because when you find that scripture, please notify me immediately. And yes, I'm a Christian. I'm not a very good one. I read and study that Bible. There's not one spot in there that says before America goes to global conflict, because, you know, we've already done it twice, that a rapture is going to happen. So, you know, people get ticked off over that all the time. So that's fine. If you don't like what I have to say, you don't have to be here. Go somewhere else. They'll tell you exactly what you want to hear. That's not me. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. All right, scrolling through here. My house has stucco on it. Underneath the stucco is wire cage. All right. I see more military aircraft in Ocala than I've ever have and grew up here. Yeah, we've had a lot. We got Tyndall not far, and Eglins just a few hours away from here. We've seen a lot more with Apaches, fighter jets, stuff like that. They could be more drill and exercises. I don't know. But there has been more aircraft maneuvers that I've seen in our local area. And that could be more exercises because, I mean, the fact is, we're on the verge of a global conflict. So they should be doing as many exercises as possible in preparedness for when they have to do something. And, you know, I keep seeing news reports and stories on YouTube, other people doing videos and stuff about how America will lose against Russia, or they will lose against China, or how China's going to lose against America. Everybody's got their own thought process on that. That's it. I don't know who's going to win about anything. All I know is global conflict is something major. It's a roll of the dice. Who's going to win? I don't want a global war, but the fact is, it's right here on our doorsteps. And in my opinion, we are going to see one. And it's not going to be one that we're just going to watch across the pond. I think we're going to have a lot of stuff happen here. I'm not expecting foreign troops here, but I'm expecting, as far as, you know, tanks and stuff like that rolling through here, I will be expecting a lot of insurgency here. A lot of sabotage here. I expect that to happen. I wonder, I don't have any proof on it, you know, these train derailments and things like that, you know. I spoke about train derailments because I was a train rider there for a year and a half. And someone had mentioned about, oh yeah, I forgot you were a train rider. So you'd have a little insight on this. And some jackleg, oh, just because he was a train rider does not make him the authority on derailments. I've been through 2 derailments in a year and a half. All right, actually on the train when it derailed. But you can look at the research. Most of the high derailments that are actually categorized per year happens in the train yard, not moving through a town. So let's clarify that one right fast. Those are train accidents. They derail in the yard, okay, because somebody didn't throw the switch right, or they bumped another train and knocked it off track. It's not going far, okay? Derailments are more common than what people think. Jason, I'm glad this is what I'm talking about right here. The large number that are being reported happen in the yard, not across the country, not through cities. When train derailments happen and it's 86 cars flips over in a city, that does not happen very often. All right? The numbers that people keep quoting is from yard incidents, not because they are traversing across the country. Those numbers are actually far and few between. And I do know this. All right. Scrolling through here. Win or lose, I prep the same. Yeah, I prep the same. Draft coming. If a global conflict happens, yeah, I do believe there would be a major draft. I do. And I know there's going to be a lot of people that will type in, since I said that, I will not support a war and I will not send my family, yada, yada, yada. Let me explain something with the draft. If you do not sign up and go with the draft, they will be incarcerated. So, you know, that's up to you if you want your child to be sitting in prison for not going and signing up for the draft and going to the draft when the number gets pulled. That's the option that they'll get. That's what I'm saying. War is no fun. I don't want war. I don't want a global conflict, but we're facing it. And I see people all the time, I do not support. It doesn't matter if you support it or not. When the government gets a draft notice and your ass is going, I can definitely put you in contact with a lot of my family that got drafted into Vietnam. It's either you go or you're going to the Hooski. So that's the option that they got. Do I agree with it? No. But that's it. That's how it's set up. All right, scrolling through here. I'm scrolling through the chat, guys. Anyway, just wanted to come on real quick and discuss some things with everybody right fast, because let's not do many live streams anymore. Have a lot of stuff going on. So with this build, back corner, the bathroom area I've been thinking about, we really wanted to put a tub in it, but I'm worried about weight displacements. We might just put a shower in. Yeah, I was thinking about it. I know we're actually going to be putting up a, we're going to be putting a 30-gallon RV tank in the bottom to collect the black water, and another 30-gallon to catch gray water, and that way we can pipe it directly into the septic system. So that's 60 gallons of water right there, additional weight, just reinforce the floor. Yeah, we have reinforced the floor, and it's quite easy to say, but I'm the one spending my paycheck each week trying to get this thing up off the ground. So it's easy to say just reinforce the floor when, I mean, you got a couple extra grand you want to send to me, making it happen with what I can. So that's what we're doing. Anyway, guys, I'll speak to y'all later. I got to eat some dinner, and then I got to wake up at 4 in the morning and go back into the shipyard. So talk to y'all later.